Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be discussing all of my flips in my first 2 months flipping furniture. I'm a beginner, so I've only been flipping furniture for 2 months. So I'm going to share with you all of the flips that I did and my profits on them so that you can just see what's possible when you're first starting out flipping furniture. So we're gonna get right into it, and I'm going to start with my first ever flip. Other than the first one, they're not all in complete order because when I buy my furniture, I put it into an Excel document. So the time I buy it and the time I sell it can differ depending if it's a project piece or if it's a quick flip. So if it's a project piece, it's definitely something that I'm going to buy, put into the Excel document, say how much I paid for it, how much gas was, and then I will sell at a later date once I complete the project. So just so you know, that's how I do it. I have everything in a spreadsheet on Excel with all of the different prices. My computer is down here, so I'm going to be looking at that if you're wondering why I'm looking down here. So let's start with my first ever flip. My first ever flip was these cane and velvet tub chairs. They were just really pretty. I saw them on Facebook Marketplace for $50 for 2 of them, so they were $25 a chair. So they weren't that far away, but we did have to use a pickup truck, so gas was $20. But I sold them for $245, which made my profit $175, which really wasn't bad. They were a great price. So yeah, those are my first ever flips. Pretty much I was talking to my friend in February, and they started doing this last summer and a little bit before that. And she inspired me, and I took a leap on my first one. And after you do your first one, it's sort of easy after that. It becomes a little bit addicting actually. So that was my first one. So after that, I found these McM, really mid-century modern brown wooden chairs. I'm pretty sure they were reproductions because I don't believe they were original, but it was a little bit farther away. But what I try and do is, if I'm going farther away, to find other items that are also close to that area. That way I can maximize my pickup truck load. That way I can split the gas up between more items than less. So that's a tip, that if you're going farther, you always want to get more items, because that way it's worth your time and worth your gas money. So yeah, these McM brown wooden chairs were just in like really great condition. She had a set of 4 of them. I paid $75 for the set, and gas was $13, and I ended up selling the set for $350. I could have sold them for more. That's less than $100 a chair. They went so quickly, guys. This was like, I had so many people messaging me, and then someone's like, I can come and pick them up, and they came and picked them up in this tiny car, mind you. But you learn, people do not look at dimensions and are never prepared to pick up furniture. But they got them, and that was a profit of $261 on the first McM chairs I'd ever bought. So that just shows you like how popular it actually is. So these are my first velvet chairs that I ever did. I got this set of pink velvet swivel chairs. They were matching. They weren't actually like giant swivel chairs either. They were a little bit smaller. I got the set for $25. So $25 for 2 chairs is really not that bad. I paid $13 in gas, and I sold them for $200. So my profit was $161. I ended up selling them separately actually, so that wasn't that bad. I delivered one of the chairs to one person, and I didn't get a deposit before I delivered them. I just sort of was already going that way because I had to run an errand in the same area, so it worked out. But I do regret not just getting a deposit beforehand, because as we were leaving, she was going back and forth about if they wanted to even take them after she had already asked me to deliver them, and she gave me her address. So just keep in mind that people are very, very flaky. Always get a deposit, always get some sort of confirmation, or, you know, some sort of something that, you know, like that's why you get a deposit, because once they give a deposit, you know they're actually serious about it. The next one was a blue velvet swivel chair. I love these velvet chairs. They sell really, really well. People love them. I got it for $20 and gas was $10, and I ended up selling it for $150. So the profit was $120. So that wasn't bad on one chair. Yeah, it was a pretty good profit on that one chair for sure. Yeah, these are adorable chairs. Like anytime I can get these, I get my hands on them. So the other one was a sage green velvet sofa chair. I give them these names so that I try and like remember what they are in the Excel document, because Excel doesn't let you insert photos. I don't know if anyone knows how to insert a photo into an Excel document. Let me know, because it'd be nice to have photos beside these items. But anyways, it was this sage green velvet sofa chair, and when I got it, mind you, it didn't look sage green really, it looked beige. But when I took the skirt off, I realized that underneath it actually was sage green, and after we cleaned it and stuff, it wasn't that bad and it didn't look more sage green. It really depended on the lighting. At this point, I was taking pictures inside my house in my living room, so it did bring out the green. It looked really good. This is one of two chairs that actually had wood MCM legs, and if you can get a chair that has wood MCM legs, they're really popular. But I find people also like the swivel chairs because it's convenient, especially if you have a small space, not to have a chair that's just stuck in one place that can move around. So this one I got for $20 also. I try to stay between $20 and $40 maximum, just because after that your profits start to go down too much. So this one was $20. I sold it for $165 and gas was $5. So my profit was $140. That was one of the first ones I tried to sell for more expensive, and it did work out. Actually, I ended up delivering this one too. I usually charge delivery charge depending on distance and how much time it's going to take me, plus gas. So it has to cover your time and it has to cover your gas. So don't feel bad if you're charging them more than what your gas would be, because you're not a delivery person. Like, you're taking your time to deliver it to them. So depending on how far it is, figure out what's fair. Usually I try to stay around like $20-ish, and maybe, like, depending if they live really, really far, maybe I would go up to $30, but I haven't had to yet. So that was that one. The next one was this yellow leather MCM chair, which had gold wheels on the bottom, which I thought was so cool. I took the skirt off this one, but because it was vinyl, it sort of left these holes in the vinyl. So what I did was I tried to match the upholstery tacks that was on this chair already. And I went to the fabric store and I bought these upholstery tacks, and I got this sort of brown spray paint because I needed to match them more brown, because the ones on the chair already were more brown, and I had to hammer all of them in, and it covered most of the holes and it made it look more complete. But that chair was probably a lot more work than it was worth, but it did turn out really cute, and it was free. So I spent $0 on it, and I was already getting other things that day, so it wasn't that bad. So I paid $0. Gas was only $5 because I split it with a bunch of items, and my profit, I sold it at $185, so my profit was $180, which really wasn't that bad. It sort of made it worth it. So the next one was another pink velvet swivel chair. This one had like a stain on it, but people still really liked it. Even, like, don't feel discouraged if there's marks or stuff like that, because if you think about it, these people aren't paying crazy amounts of money. It's under $200 for a nice chair. So, you know, sometimes they are willing to just, you know, pay it. So this pink one was $30, which in hindsight was a little bit much for the amount of actual stains that was on it and not just marks that I could get out like I thought. So it was $30, gas was $5, and I sold it for only $100. So my profit on that wasn't as good. It was $65. So I also had this blue velvet swivel chair, which was $35, but it was in pristine condition, almost like never used. I barely had to clean it. I just went over it with the Bistro with some water to get the dust out, but it was in such great condition. It was beautiful. But I did originally list it at $200, but it was just taking time to move because sometimes the Facebook algorithm stops showing your item to people after it's been listed for the first like couple of days. So it started to get less and less views, and it wasn't moving quick enough. So I did lower the price, but I got really lucky because a lady contacted me and wanted me to deliver, which brought me back up to my original listing price, which was $200. So I sold it at $200 and gas was only $5. So my profit was $165 on that one. The next one was where I got that blue velvet swivel chair. I actually got a bunch of rattan and bamboo furniture, which was just like an add-on. I was already there and they showed me all of this stuff that they didn't even have listed yet. So it really worked out because they were cleaning out a house. So I got this square bamboo chair and I paid $20 for it. Sold it for $90 and gas was $5, so my profit was $65. I got this round bamboo chair. I paid $25, sold it for $80, and gas was $0 at that point because I had so much stuff in that truckload that I had, like, I didn't have to split up the gas that much because it was already going to be so cheap. So it was $55 profit for that chair. And then I got these rattan bar stools from them also, 3 of them, $75 for all 3. I sold them for $345. Originally I had them listed for $400, but they weren't moving fast enough, so I just got rid of them at $345. Gas was $5, so it was still a $265 profit. Really not bad. I also got a brass blanket holder from them just randomly. I wanted to try my luck at it. I paid them $15 for it. I sold it for $40. Really was like no gas involved in that because it was part of this big load. So I got a nice profit of an easy 25 bucks. I didn't have to do anything to it except wipe it down. So moving on, I got this orange tweed armchair, which was really cool, for 25 bucks. It had really nice MCM legs, which I didn't know before I bought it really, but I got lucky. I removed the skirt, I cleaned it up. The only problem was they had a dog and the dog hair sort of got stuck in the tweed. So it was definitely really difficult to get that hair out of that type of fabric. I took my vacuum to it, I used my Bistro, nothing was really working. Eventually the vacuum did work. I went over it and I really just like got in there and it took out most of the hair to the point where you couldn't even really see it. I sprayed it down with Febreze, I washed it, and it turned out really well. I sold it for $160. And there was no gas associated with that because we used my boyfriend's mom's car and we didn't use the pickup truck, and she was nice enough to not charge us for that one trip. So my profit was $135 on that one. So I actually got this iron and wood shelving unit in the trash. Not the trash, but somebody put it out on their lawn because garbage day was the next day, and I found it and got it. So $0 that I spent on it. I sold it for $180, and it was part of like a big load, so I didn't spend anything on gas. And then my profit was $180. I just staged it up really nicely, so that was good. So another thing that I found on someone's lawn was this Pier 1 nightstand, which is just like a home decor store that we have here in Canada. So it was just wood, so I painted it black and left the drawer wood. It was really like a practice project piece because I hadn't painted a lot of stuff yet, so I was just like learning on it, and I made my own chalk paint. But yeah, so it was $0 for that. I ended up selling it to my boyfriend's aunt for $85. She wanted to pay me. I was just gonna give it to her for free because I got it for free, but she was like, no, you put your time into it. So she paid me $85. So that was really nice of her. And gas was no money, so it was $85 profit. So these next chairs were these red velvet mid-century dining chairs, which I actually also got on garbage night. We drive around the night before garbage day in different areas, and we just try and find stuff that people are throwing out. You'd be surprised. I know not everywhere has this, but we're lucky enough here where we live that we do, so we drive around sometimes and look for stuff. So we got these chairs for $0. I ended up selling them for $180. There was 3 of them. So it was $10 in gas and my profit was $170. So really not bad, to be honest. My friend thought they were sort of ugly. My boyfriend thought they were sort of ugly. At first my mom thought they were ugly, but somebody ended up loving them. So that's good. So the next one was this roll top desk that we actually also found on garbage night. So as you can see, I do find a lot of things for free, which is nice. So this was a vintage oak roll top desk, really adorable, and $0, and I sold it for $250, and it was $10 gas, so I got $240 profit off of that. So this was a project piece for me. I painted it and distressed it, and it was really fun. It turned out great. So yeah, that was that piece. The next one was this Teak Dresser. Teak does so well. I found it in the trash once again at the side of the road. So I didn't spend anything on it, and I sold it for $375. I probably could have sold it for more, but $375, I didn't pay anything for it. And gas was $20, so the profit was $355. So I got these charcoal cantilever chairs, which was actually from the same place that I got all of that bamboo furniture and the really nice conditioned blue chair. I saw them the first time I went there, but I couldn't fit them in the truck. We actually had too much stuff. So I messaged them back and I said, do you still have them? Because they were selling them for $15 each, because I saw them and I knew I wanted them. I just had to go back for them. And it wasn't that bad. So there was 2 of them, $30, $15 each. I sold them for $200. Gas was $10 and my profit was $160. So this next one was this orange velvet chair. It was $30. I sold it for $185, $12.50 gas, and $142.50 profit. So really not that bad. This was I knew this chair would sell right away because it was a beautiful color, it was in great condition, and they're just really in demand and people love these velvet chairs. So it sold like I thought. It sold right away. I took the skirt off. I actually have a video that includes that chair and 2 others where I take the skirts off and show you how I do all that. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it up above. So the next one was a Teak Nightstand. I saw someone listed this and it was $75, and I knew I could make an easy $100 on it, so I got it for the $75, even though that is a little bit pricey. The only reason I did that is because it was teak. So I refinished it. I sanded the top only. The sides and drawers didn't need to be refinished. I just sanded the tops and the so I just sanded the top. So I made $175. I sold it for, and so I sold it for $175, $12.50 gas. I made $87.50 profit. So really not that bad. So the next item is the oak Mcm mid-century modern desk. So I got this at Restore. I saw a Facebook listing and it was only $30. So that was really lucky. I scooped it up. I have a video where I put some gel stain on it to touch up all the scuffs and all of that, so I'll link that one up above also. So yeah, I got it for $30. I sold it for $425, $12.50 in gas, so my profit was $382.50. So really not bad on that one. The next one was this Wicker bamboo bistro set. This was so adorable. People love sets like this because it's small. It can fit in a condo or a smaller backyard space. I just thought it was, I thought it was amazing looking. So I got that one for $50. I sold it for $385, $12.50 gas. So my profit was $322.50, which is really great. So I also got this Mcm Walnut Nightstand on this, and I did it at the same time that I did the oak desk. So I got it for $30, sold it for $135, $5 gas, I made $100 profit, not bad. If you want to see the video where I refinished that nightstand, I'll link it up above. I also got these Wayfair chairs that were MCM style, and this chrome and glass table for $175. I ended up selling it for $200 because the people who sold it to me didn't tell me that the chairs were not structurally sound. I didn't know that until I sold them to somebody and they went home and tried to use the chairs. So I refunded them half their money, just charged them for the table because they wanted to keep the table, and I just gave back their money for the chairs. So $200 is what I made off of that. So my profit was only $25. That's fine. I still made back my money. So no harm, no foul, but you know, always to check everything because I didn't use them, so I didn't actually know. I only sat in one chair, so it happens, but now I know to be more thorough, especially when buying more modern stuff, because you don't know how things are made these days cheaply, definitely more cheaply than vintage items, which is what I usually do. The last item that I have is this Teak Cabinet, which I actually found on the side of the road. Once again, I refinished the whole entire thing, made it beautiful again, and sold it for $300. So my profit was $300 because I literally found it on the side of the road. So yeah, that was all of the different flips that I did in March and April. But those are my first 2 months. So realistically, I had a lot of miscellaneous expenses that I had to spend money on in those 2 months, like painting stuff and staining stuff and different supplies for different projects. So my total Misc expenses was $795.84, but my total before expenses was $4,482. So if I didn't have all of those expenses, my profit would have been much higher, but like any business starting out, you're going to have expenses, so it's to be expected. So that's why you have to stay tuned for what my profits are for the month of May, which is happening right now. So after all of my expenses, my total profit was $3,686.86. So that's not bad. I mean, it's still a profit and it's only the first 2 months, but I do have a lot of items and I still have a lot of stock that I need to sell and stage and finish and project pieces. So you really need to do a mixture of project pieces and quick flips that you just have to clean up and take pictures of and sell, because everything's a project piece. You're gonna make less money because it's gonna take you more time to get each piece listed. So yeah, that's just everything that I've done so far, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. I'm going to be doing these update videos hopefully once a month to keep you updated on all of the different things I've been doing throughout the month, and also my profits and how that month's been going, if it's slow, if it's really picking up. We're going into summer now, so I think it's going to get a lot busier. Especially a lot of people tell me that with not being able to go to regular stores, they are finding a lot of local people selling items that they like and just doing driveway or porch pickup, and everything's outside. So like, it's definitely like a curbside pickup for sure. But regular stores have a lot of wait time for shipping of furniture and whatnot. We actually just bought a fridge on Facebook Marketplace because the wait time for a new fridge in like a store is 3 weeks, and it's also full price. So you can find some great deals for yourself also. But yeah, when I'm flipping stuff, I make sure to at least find something at a price where I know I'm going to be able to make a good profit, because sometimes there's items and maybe you'll be able to make $100 or $50, but if it's a big item and it's tricky to move, and it might just not be worth your time, right? So you just gotta really, as I'm going, I'm learning how to like know which items are worth spending more money on because I don't have to do anything to them. But if I'm doing a project piece, I'm definitely going to want to spend less money because I know I'm going to have to put more time, because you also have to be paying yourself for your time. So keeping all that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up so that other people can see it, and also learn about all of this stuff. I know it can be intimidating starting something new, but once you get into it and once you start doing it, you know, you learn and you start knowing what to do. So there's a whole community of people that do furniture flipping. You can join groups on Facebook and you can really get a lot of support and ask all of your questions. So I know that's what I did when I started out. But anyways, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.